What's up, table tennis nerds? Welcome back to the Limittless channel. This is Road to 1750 TTR episode 17, back in Wemmensweiler here with Thomas and practicing one of our main exercises at the moment, which is the topspin block chop exercise for feeling and to get better at opening up backspin balls. It also involves a lot of footwork. What you saw me doing here is switching to backside from the forehand side. It's because very often, like here again, you can see my stance switches after playing a forehand topspin a lot, especially if I go through the ball against backspin balls. And then I stand with my right leg in front and I'm forced to play backhand or a bad forehand. So it's a little bit of a dilemma there. I mean, you see backhand-oriented pros also do that, but then they play a really, really solid backhand afterwards. I think I have to decide what I want, if I want to play a backhand from there or more forehands. Thomas is obvious. This is another variation of it where only one guy is doing topspin and chop. The other guy just pushes the chop back. This is a more beginner-friendly modification of it, because it's just two things you have to focus on. Obviously, here I am doing it, and what you saw here, not going through the ball, not the bodies, not together. I think I have to spend some time on multi-ball to get my forehand topspin against backspin on track again. Here I'm playing with Ivan. You may see him in our following STC Cup games that are coming up. Relegation for the grand final will come up soon. And he has anti-spin on the backhand, which you could see here. I did the wrong thing against it. But overall, I have no problem with his anti anymore not so much at least. It's not a super, it's one that has a little bit of grip. So they're the ones that are completely like glass, and the ones that are just producing like more or less empty balls. And this is one of the second category, and those are not too bad for me. It's like short pimples a little bit, but still, yeah, you can see me if I pay attention, I try to really attack those empty balls like I did in the previous and in this scene. This is tricky if they punch with pimples or anti-spin rubber. You really have to treat it a little bit like a push, almost like a light push. This is just a bit weird. Ivan has a good forehand. I think his whole game should be designed towards his forehand, and just using the anti-rubber, like the backhand, to disturb. As you could see here, a spin affects this anti a little bit. So, yeah. It's also good to know, so slow and spinny topspins can work against that. He does, I told him also afterwards, he does a lot of serves half long in the middle, so I can always flip them. So, which brings me right into my game. Second half of this video, you will see the opposite. What happens if I'm not getting into my game. If you're ready to take your table tennis skills to the next level, Jože Ur's Instructional is the key. Learn from one of the best in the business and discover how his philosophy of adaptation can revolutionize your game. Whether you're looking to win more matches or simply enjoy the sport more fully, this Instructional will give you the tools you need to succeed. You can now access the same insights that have helped countless players elevate their game. This is your chance to finally get the guidance you've been searching for. Alright, now the first ever session with Ivan. You may have seen him in the test tournament we did. If not, you can go back to this or only the highlights and watch it. Here he plays with his long pimples on the backhand again. And This is obviously the warm-up. And what to say? Like that's the first time we trained. He trains for around 3 years and a bit, so a bit long, maybe 6 months longer than me. So we're more or less the same level. He's also very motivated. He trains a lot. And it was kind of, I think, to conclude, what you will see is we are both not stable in our game yet, that we trust our abilities. Doesn't matter what happens against opponents that we're not used to, against different ball speeds, different spins, different placement, different tactics, different serves. So for both of us, what happened, obviously here he chops, he wanted to chop for the warm-up, and I had big trouble already. Because that's what I just said. I mean, against choppers, it's a different spin, it's a different ball speed. It's usually slower. It changes a lot. Also footwork, the rhythm changes. And it seemed to affect both of us like crazy. And I think it's more or less normal at this stage. If you train much and you change things all the time, you set different priorities. This week you do more of this, the other week you do more of that. So it's clear that the game is not yet like stable. It's not yet second nature. Things doesn't happen automatically. You think about it all the time. Like here we include a serve. It's just the same thing, but we included a serve and then free play after the first chop. And yeah, when we played sets, I think this for sure we play sets here now, we both had large swings in performance. Like really crazy. Sometimes winning a set to 3 or 4 points, sometimes losing it. Sometimes making 5-6 points in advance and then totally break down and lose the set. And we both had that. And again, I think at this stage where the skill development is still like in full pace, that's all that's going on. You want to get better, get to a certain level. This is, I think, more or less normal. I don't know it exactly in table tennis, but I know it from jiu-jitsu for sure, that people that train for like 2.5, 3 years, a lot, and they really are into the sport and they think a lot about it and they train a lot, that they also have plateaus and large swings. And sometimes with an opponent that has a different style, they're not used to it. They're not getting into their rhythm, into the usual game. Then what comes on top is the mental side. So even the things you're good at don't work anymore. And you try to you start questioning everything all of a sudden. And I think that's what happened to both of us. I mean, here you see obviously the highlights again. Only some of the problems with it. I think a large chunk of it is, at least for me, I always then get stiff. You can see it in my forehand movement always. Also, I stand too high. Also, I wait a lot. Like I do a move and then I wait, and I stand too high, and I'm too flat-footed. it's many things that I'm telling you here now. But that's basically how it feels. Like it feels that, yeah, more or less your game, your strategy, the way you like to play table tennis is a little bit broken, is a little bit off. And at the end of the session, I managed to get a little more loose. A kind of the opposite of being tense is to not care. To be like, okay, whatever, let's play the rest of the time we have here. Let's play it relaxed. It doesn't matter if I lose or win. I just want to be more relaxed. And then it worked a little better, I must say. So that is the key, I think. Reset, breathe, calm down, maybe do a little break if you have something like this, and then restart from there. And really, things got a little better then. But 100%, I think Yeah, these counter topspin with the forehand, these counter topspins, I wasn't able to do it at all. And this also is an indicator for me that my game, it doesn't go together this day or this session. But I think this is super valuable. This is more valuable than a session when I play somebody that has a straightforward game and is playing like I expect people to play and everything goes well. I think this is way more valuable. You can learn way more if you have trouble with somebody's playing style. And that's why I think we can learn a lot in the future if we train way more often together. And that's what we plan to do, obviously. Because he had exactly the same feeling. Exactly the same thing happened to him. Yeah. I also feel that I didn't go through the ball enough. I tell that a lot, but with the forehand here again, that are some of the problems that happened a lot to me during our matches. Also, shoulder goes up, which shows you it's too tense. But at the end, really, the last 3 sets or so, when I played more relaxed, it really got better. And he told me also, because I think he has a decent backhand, and he told me afterwards, like, hey, I stopped playing pimples again, so I'm okay. Let's see next session if we see him, if he doesn't have the pips anymore. Guys, thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel to not miss future episodes. Also, if you live close to the Saarbrücken area, you may want to check out the training group we have. We train the principles of what we learned from Jože, we apply there. It's a set program every week. It's new topics, and it's really fun and it's really good training. So maybe you want to come and check it out. Also, if you need rubbers, blades, whatever, you can order that at our partners shop at TT Store, and you get a nice 20% discount. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.